Well, hello, Sasha Black.
Hello, darling.
You're in chaos.
I am in chaos.
What's
Yeah.
going on? Oh no, is it the books?
No,
Oh,
so
okay.
this is art packing for Kickstarter. So we made it very complicated and we're not going to do that next time. Um,
I
but
thought you were
basically
making things easier this time.
yeah, but we did loads of things like, a return backer art print or like a flash goal art print or, whatever. And so because there's so many different tiers and some people added on the full art pack and some people, so there's like six or seven different variations and like 400 art packs that need individually packing with potentially up to 14 prints plus playlists, maps,
Ah, I have already
playlists,
moved. I've left the
stickers.
country. I have not given a forwarding address, and I've changed my name. At that point, fuck that. No,
Never
I'll
again.
take
We're
the
not
take
doing
the
it
Kickstarter
again.
money and run. Be
We're not
disappeared.
doing it again.
Let me.
But
This is a dumb question, but
mm,
aren't there services that fulfill for you?
yeah, so going forward, like we've been talking to an import exporter, we're talking to a US fulfillment company, we're investigating UK fulfillment companies, and we're also investigating the option of me creating a subsidiary company and doing a fulfillment company myself.
Wow.
Yeah, because like I want to be the CEO of multiple companies. I don't want to run them and I don't want to deal with the operational management of them. But if you've got the money to invest and there's a hole in the market where there needs to be provision, and I can't get the fulfillment companies to do it at the price that I want, then
Hmm.
I'll just do it myself.
And readers, the reason we just jumped in hot like this is that for those who don't watch it on the YouTube, if you're on my Patreon, she's surrounded. She's about
I,
it's just there's
I'm
just
gonna I'm gonna
boxes.
give you a tour
Oh
because
no,
it's
it's even
horrendous.
worse.
So for listeners, I'm now showing a cardboard cemetery by my door. And then we have an array of boxes full of stuff. Then we've got not safe for work art that's hidden by cardboard so my son can't see it all the way around my office floor. So hold up. So it literally is around the whole perimeter of my office. There's just not safe for work art prints. And then on my desk, I've got stuff in like containers. And then here is all the character art, characters, die
Oh,
cut character stickers. So we are also oh my God,
the
Rachel, there's so much going on. I don't even
the
know where to
die
begin to
cut
tell you.
character stickers, that's cool.
They're actually super expensive as well, but
I
they are
bet.
really cool. And then we've got lovely foiled like holographic bookmarks and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, there's going to be a ton of leftover stuff, which means we're going to pack them and ship them from the website. We are
Yes,
moving
yes.
to offset printing. I think you know about that. I don't know if we've talked about it here, but we're moving to offset printing. It
Can
is
you explain
like
for people
all
who don't know
go.
what that is, please? What is offset?
Yeah.
Offset is the old
So
traditional, expensive
yeah,
but amazing
yeah.
way.
You say expensive,
Yeah,
but it's not really.
you will make more money.
Yeah. Oh my
Tell
God,
us
yeah.
how.
Okay, so for example, you go to a print on demand service, and one of my paperbacks is between £4.50 and £5.65
Yeah.
to print. A hardback will be anywhere from about £8.48 all the way up to potentially £10, sort of at the max end of how long I write my books. It'll be more if you write longer books. We're looking at UK printers and we're looking at Chinese printers,
Mhm.
and it for a paperback it could be anywhere as low as £1.50 per copy, and all the way up to sort of £2.70-ish, £2.80 per
And you
copy.
charge the
Now,
same amount.
well,
So
I
you're,
won't.
oh,
So
you won't.
what I would like to do is to bring my pricing down to a par so I'm comparable with traditional publishing. So it would be, sorry, one second. Atlas, you're going to have to request again. I would bring it down to like 9.99. So it would all be very, very similar to trad printing, trad prices. But even bringing it down to 9.99, I'd still be making more profit, which would also mean that we can increase the quality. So this is the other thing that I want to do is that I want like my standard paperbacks to maybe be duplex. So they'd have artwork on the inside paper covers, and
Mhm.
then they'd be embossed. And potentially spot UV because that's included in this price. It's wild. The only thing is, if you're doing one, let's just go for the lowest amount, £1.51, I think it is per copy, and you're ordering 2,000 of those. It's still
That's
3 grand per book, and I've got 6 books. So we are talking
yeah.
about a huge sum of money putting down on these books. But I am experiencing between, I would say, 750 and 1,000 orders in 30 days on my website. So it's things are really ramping up at the moment, and it's not sustainable to continue in the way that we're continuing, and it's forcing me to make the choice. Either I go with a fulfillment company or we make our own. And yeah, so I've got Petra like kind of pulling together business cases and stuff for all of this stuff. It's nothing I ever thought I'd be thinking about as a writer. A writer. Oh, excuse me, let me just talk about my fulfillment company.
This has all happened because you decided to go into this niche that you weren't going to tell
Right?
anybody about for a while.
I
Remember?
know,
You were
I
going to keep
know,
it
I
secret,
know.
secret.
I chose my words. Sorry, I don't want to hear all your gossip. I'm just like vomiting stuff on you.
I don't have much gossip, so yeah.
You know that last time we were choosing words,
Yes.
and the word that I kept circling around was relentless. Well, I've just decided it's relentless creation next year. Yeah,
Ooh.
very specifically creation because that can mean the creation of a new company. It could mean the create actual word creation. And I chose it for two reasons. One, because it has that multifaceted meaning. But the
Mhm.
second reason is that last year, so I track my word count. Last year, I only had a 0 word count in 1 month. So I wrote 300 and, I don't know, 70 something thousand words. Can't remember the exact. This year, I've written 209,000 words.
Oh,
I had
wow.
6 months with a 0 word count. Six. Yeah.
Which
Now,
is
I had,
which is technically fine because you have zero word count times when you are plotting, when you're doing a lot of other things too. But I know that's not what you want. You want more
it's
writing
not.
time.
It's not. And I'm like, I've got to the end of this year exhausted. And I'm like, why am I so tired? I'm like, well, I haven't done the thing that gives me energy. Like
Mm.
drafting gives me energy. And that's why I want to stay in that zone doing that as often as possible. So I had a very long coaching set. I actually had a double coaching session yesterday. So I feel it was so exhausting emotionally. I actually couldn't do anything today. That's why I've been art packing because I was just fucked. Sorry, everybody. And anyway, the point is, this year was about infrastructure.
Mhm.
Last year was about building that base of books. This year was about infrastructure building. Next year will be about expanding the creation. So I will go back to words next year. And that's why I've chosen it because I want it to focus my mind. Anyway, how are you?
Relentless creation. Okay,
Yeah.
I have a couple of pins to go back to here, but I am well. I am
You look
um
lovely.
thank you. Thank you. It's the lipstick I put on this morning. I am getting ready for this new year. I have a new idea for a project. My
Oh,
word has changed a little bit too. It's now a phrase because I just took. We don't need a word. We can have a phrase. You've got a phrase. It was bloom. It is now bloom and sparkle. Bloom
oh, I
and
love it.
sparkle. I actually
Yeah.
bought recently because I'm a fountain pen snob, and I bought this silver shimmer that you can add to
Mm.
any ink, and then when you write with the ink, it shimmers. So it's like I'm
No, I love
foiling
it.
my own words in a way.
Oh my
Oh no,
God.
that could be taken two different ways. I'm not foiling them. I'm foiling them, and I just really love. I've always loved sparkle. I've always loved glitter. I'm a sparkly kind of person, and
I love
sometimes I
glitter.
think I forget to sparkle. And
Mm.
one thing that that helped me sparkle in such a big way this year was that I had this goal of doing open water swimming 52 times this year because I was turning 52. There's 52 weeks in the year. I like that kind of resonance. And I loved this project because I could not monetize it. I could not do anything with it. And I'm such an inveterate entrepreneur that I need to pick things that I can't make money from, or I will try to, and then I'll lose the joy. I wrote about it a few times for the Patreon, but that didn't count. But the thing I loved about this 52 project is that it's good for a person like me who can do it 8 times in a week and then take some time off. I didn't have to swim every week, although I swam all the way through winter and I got it done and I hit 52. It's funny, I was looking at all my notes. I tracked all of the swims. There's a point to this. I tracked all my swims and I looked at number one and it was with Lala. And Lala does not go in the sea very often because she does not like cold. But she went in the sea with me on January 3rd, the beginning of this year. And we went in and played because the water was kind of warm. And then the 52nd swim that I had was in Rarotonga, where we went in together and we were just goofing around. And, when you hold your person in the water and you're swaying around and it feels like being kids, it was like that. And now I'm up to like 66. So I will continue swimming forward. But I wanted to choose something different, a new way to sparkle this year. And I'm going to invite my Patreon people to come along if they want to. They can pick something to do for 52 times during the
I
year, and then we'll
love
try to do
that.
it together. And mine's going to be art journaling
Huh.
because I'm never going to try to sell the pages of my journal. And I'm a terrible artist, but I love sitting around and making a little picture and coloring it with colored pencils or watercolor or whatever, and then journaling around it. So,
I
what do you
love that.
think?
I make my reading journal.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Do
do
you
you
want me
do
to
it?
show you?
Yes,
Hang on one second.
please.
Let me grab it. I have to take my headphones out 1 second.
Of course. Sasha's reaching over into the piles of
So
boxes.
it started because um, I needed to get off Goodreads because it was becoming competitively toxic for me.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very clear line where competition is good and competition is bad. So
Hmm.
I was like, okay, I need to go old school because I love a bullet journal and I love
Yeah, yeah,
like,
me too.
but I never have the time to make it pretty. So I brought some digital reading journals that just had like templates online, and that's how it started. So like for example, and I don't, I haven't used this page, like it had like a page tracker and I just had them printed and I like stapled them like,
Oh,
what's your
what a good
goal per
idea.
month,
Yeah.
right? And then over time I was like, oh, I really really enjoy this. So there's two main things that I do. The first thing is that three things, sorry. I write down all the books and that's just like the long list of what I've read. And I'm not showing you the written on page because I've written star ratings on it. Um,
The
and
real star
then
ratings. That's smart because I don't do that on Goodreads. You're right.
no, I
Yeah.
won't. I'll put a 5 star up, and I won't put anything else up. And I don't
I do
even
fives
put
and
every
zeros.
5 star. I
Yeah.
just sometimes, you know. And then okay, so then I do, and I'm going to describe it for listeners. So there's like a reading challenge with book shapes and numbers on it, and then I have put stickers representing audiobook, Kindle, or
Oh,
paperback, so then I can see what type of book I've read,
uh-huh.
and then there's one other thing that I do, but we have progressed. So this is evolving. So the other thing that I do is I have a sprocket printer and I print out the pictures, the book covers,
Uh,
and I put them all on the page so I can visually see what I've read. And I absolutely love it. And I've been doing this, I don't know, 4 months, 5 months, not sure. Um, and I have progressed and I brought a load of stickers and I was like, I don't have time to bullet journal. I don't, but I do
mhm.
have time to make like a page, just a
Yes.
page.
Yes.
And I'm not going to draw anything. I'm just going to cover it in stickers and washi tape and that's it. And it's brought me so much joy. And you're like the first person I've told that I'm doing this. So
And your face is so happy about it. I
I
could just tell how
love
much.
it. I
Look, so
literally
here's
love
my
it.
bullet journal. I'll show it to you. It is just it's just I do basically the same
Oh,
thing
I
every
love
week. Like this is my
stickers.
week stuff, and then I stick some stickers on it. This was a
I
funny
love
sticker
it.
because it's a sticker of two women skating away from a man who's falling off a sled back here. But for Christmas. But and there's some color on there. I use some pens, and it takes me 1 second to make the bullet
Do you,
journal, but
have
it
you
is
ever
fun.
exactly. And you don't have to do it for anybody and you can't monetize it. Have you ever ordered stickers from Temu?
No.
Oh, I apologize in advance. I can't actually confess out loud how much money I spent buying stickers, but there is a wooden crate box now in this office and the lid doesn't go on. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
And that's
But
saying a lot because Timu is so dirt cheap
mm,
that's a lot of stickers.
mm. I'm my cheeks are actually heating up and I don't get embarrassed very often. But I brought it because for two reasons. I've decided to do the exact same. So I always buy Hobonichi. It's the only journal, like planner I have ever finished. And I
Hmm.
love the pages. And I love that, like, when you put stickers on them, like the page, like the planner gets huge. So
Yes.
anyway, I brought another one. And instead of me not making it pretty, I'm just going to stick stickers in it every single day. So I love that we both are like came up with the same thing.
That's
And
so
then the
funny.
other thing that I'm doing next year is I'm going to start a 5-year journal inspired by Sarah Cannon
Those are
because
great.
I don't journal
Hmm.
and I think I need to start
Hmm.
journaling because I only know what I think when I write it down. And it's like this much space. It's like an inch and a half of space to write.
Yep.
I can do an inch and a half a day. That's what she
And
said.
oh my God. Okay, so for people who don't know what the 5-year journal is, you may have seen them, but it's 365 pages and each page is divided into five little bits. So you get that inch and a half or so. And then what's cool is you write down what you did today. And then next year you remember, oh, I was doing this last year. Oh my God, I was doing this 4 years ago. How weird.
So I do a wins journal that's a 5-year journal, and I've been doing that for a year. And so I got to look back upon it this month because it was this time last year that I exploded.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my goodness me, like this is wild. Like
And do you keep
seeing
that in a
that's
five
a
year?
very yeah,
Yeah.
it's this one. It says, and sorry for listeners, I'm going to say another a sweary word, fucking brilliant on it is what it says. And
That's a
it's
really good one.
Diddy.
Because
But yeah, this is like the
they usually look really stupid, actually, the little 5-year journals.
yeah.
That one doesn't.
So
That's cute.
no. Um, so yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. What I do is every night when I'm going to sleep and I'm trying to put down the phone, the last thing I do is I open this spreadsheet and I just enter the date and I enter the best things that happened that day.
Oh my God, I love
I
that.
normally don't put in the BS because life has BS, so I don't put it down. But the highlights and I've been doing this for years now, and then I forgot about it for like 2 years. But I recently looked over to 2021, which was the year that we decided to move, and then moved, and then lived in New Zealand, and it brought back the smallest little things, like the beach we went to, what we found on the beach, and who we spoke to, and it it's very very small. And I was talking to a person, Greta Morgan, on my podcast, and she does something very similar. And what she does is sometimes for people's birthdays, she'll do a find on their name and then we'll write a card with remember in 2018 when we went to Louisiana and you
Oh,
said
I
that
love
funny
that.
thing which nobody remembers, but so I've been doing that. So back to the 52 project. In Britain, do you ever play the card game 52 pickup?
Yes.
So you know what it is.
Yes.
Where you
Unfortunately.
yeah, where you throw the cards into the air
Yeah.
and then you laugh at the child and say it's 52 pickup.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm thinking of just cheekily calling it 52 pickup because it really has been such a pick me up to do this.
Well,
And I'll be writing about it for Patreon, but yeah.
I love that because I feel like that putting down the positive things or whatever, like the wins journal, it keeps you really humble as well. Like, I was looking at this month, but for last year, and remembering the sheer pride and joy at that kind of first month of like really big money. And like I was like, yeah, I do need to remember to appreciate every single day and appreciate every sale and like thank you universe for this money and that money, like it just keeps me humble and
Yeah.
keeps me grounded and keeps me grateful. Like I really enjoy looking back and seeing that growth. And I think it's very easy to disregard how many steps we've taken to get to where we are and forget how many grueling days of just keeping your butt in the chair and like how important that is and how much it matters and how much we should be proud of that for just
Yes.
showing up, right? And
Yes.
that's what I feel like that journal is enabling me to do. Um,
That's beautiful. You didn't suddenly turn around and find your office full of all of these things. All of the
no,
stuff that surrounds you right now. That what it surrounds you because you've been doing the hard work. I remember I know that I'm in this office in New Zealand because I write, because I was able to pay off our debt and because I was able to quit my job and make this move. And I'll tell you something very exciting. I was talking to our friend Joe the other day, and I told her this, but I went for the very first time to a financial planner because I'm such an idiot sometimes. Like my mother always says that, I never spoke a first word. I spoke a first sentence, and I had practiced the sentence by whispering it into the corner before I came out and said it. And I would always do that. I practice things. And I don't like to go ask for help until I feel like I'm pretty good at the thing, I don't want to do it. So, 15 years ago, we had a $425,000 mortgage, and we were in debt $125,000, which was credit card, IRS, and student loan. And I realized we were never going to ever get ahead. And I just started reading books and talking to people and learning about money. And that's when I started, budgeting and using you need a budget and changed everything. And that's how we got out of debt. And that's how I was able to quit my job, et cetera. And that's how, we've been investing and doing those kind of things. And so I find we went to this financial planner who is an expert in New Zealand and US retirement, which is important. And she actually like looked at our projection. She looked at everything. We paid her money to do this. And she showed how one day in the future, far off future, we'll be able to retire because of what we have been doing. And know, I did not know that we could do that. I did not know that we had enough saved, that she didn't just look at us and laugh. She actually said, "Oh, you're doing really well. This must feel good. You've done a great job." And I told her in an email after we'd left, I said, "You're the first professional I've ever talked to about this." And I was terrified. And she goes, "Oh," and she was great. She understood how big that was. She goes, "Well, then you should feel even prouder of that you've gotten to this place. And we've been doing this for a long time now on just my salary." And it was
that is
not salary, just what I
amazing.
make, and I wish I had a salary. No, I don't. I love what I'm doing. But just to have that, and also it brings me right back to my excitement about writing the money fix, which is not a fix, but which is
And look how
talking.
much you're sparkling,
I'm
knowing that you
sparkling.
did that. You did
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
You
yeah,
should be
yeah.
so fucking proud.
I am. And Lala's
Yeah,
great
you
too,
should
because
be.
Lala always tells me how proud I should be, because she's like, I cannot. She can't. She's, what's the numeral dyscalculia. She has that where she can't even see numbers. They just move around in front of her eyes. And she's so proud of me and thankful. And uh, so
Also,
I
that
can't remember.
must
Yeah.
bring such like pressure relief, which will only encourage you to be more creative, like when that pressure is off
100%.
you.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I've been running in place and trying to like get ahead, and having this lie in my head that we have no retirement solutions, but we have 401(k)s. I had forgotten I'm getting a pension. That's not even included in this because I don't even know what kind of pension I'm going to be getting from 17 years in the fire service, But that'll be extra, and I don't know. I just feel so sparkling, blooming and sparkling this year.
I
All right, I
absolutely
did
love
put a
that.
pin in something you said. Can we go back? And you may tell me to fuck off. But can you talk to me a little bit about what what you were doing in that double session with your coach yesterday? What were you talking about?
Yeah, so I mean, it was a lot of like trying to figure out what I want because I'm at kind of a crossroads
Hmm.
of, the next decision is so I'm like, actually, how much of this can I say? So so I've already talked about the fulfillment. That was like a big conversation because I know that I don't. want to be an operational manager. And I think actually, fun enough, Joe had a podcast episode with a guy, I can't remember his name, but I've brought the books. And he was talking about how he builds companies and then makes himself redundant, which I think is very easy when you are not the creator of the product. I am the creator of the product. So I can never
Right.
divorce myself entirely from that. And nor would I want to, because that is actually where the joy comes from. And seeing those numbers with the 6 months of zero word count and realizing how tired I am and remembering how much energy I actually get from the drafting process was a bit of a wake up call. So, I mean, a lot of it was like, okay, so what's the shape of the business? Do I employ somebody like actual employ rather than freelance? Do I, do we, is there a fulfillment company that's good enough? If there isn't, is creating a company something that I don't want to do, but one of the people that I employ slash contract might do it.
Hmm.
Um, you know, it
And
was
that would be
looking at
easily, wouldn't you think that that kind of company starting that would be easier to hand off the reins because it wouldn't be your product. It would be
exactly
your idea and right.
and my investment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So that is the kind of thing that I can offset to somebody else. Um, so that it was a lot of conversations about that, a lot of conversations about what does my perfect workday look like, or what do my 5 different types of perfect workday look like? And at the moment, they don't look like anything that I'm actually doing, which
Oh,
is a yeah, it's a like, and
yeah.
I mean that's not true. Some of the things that I do are the things that I want to do, but I don't want 6 months of my year with a zero word count. I want 1 month a year with zero word count or none, preferably. So one of the things that I'm going to do, like, because I've been really struggling to outline, and she's like, from everything that you've told me about this story, the story is there. Your brain is just exhausted and unable to pull it together and put it into your normal structure. She was like, how many of the things have you done that enable you to outline? And I was like, how dare you? Because like none. I have
What are
not
the
given.
things that allow you to outline?
So, things like sitting in silence or going for a walk or
Yeah.
looking in coffee table books
Yeah.
or I don't know, looking after my physical body or, it's all of the other things that don't feel like work and that don't feel like hard work
Hmm.
that she's like, well, why do you feel like you don't deserve that time? And, so it's a lot of hard conversations about that and a lot of conversations about, so like this month, I have earned my entire corporate salary, my entire annual corporate salary in a month, and we're on the 18th of the month. So like, and I'm like, why don't I feel anything? I don't feel anything. I feel
I feel
nothing.
something. I feel.
So it's like a lot of conversations around like that and like what does society expect you to feel? Everybody expects you to be like, and I'm like, as somebody who's hyper competitive, like the win is important, but like we exist in the journey.
Hmm.
And that's where I get excited every single day is to get up and do the work. Like I live that excitement and that joy. That's why I chose this path. So for me, like that finishing line is great, but it's a moment. This is life.
Hmm.
And so I was like, I feel like I live all that excitement building up to it. Like, I live knowing it's coming, or like you manifest it, so you live it. And then when it gets here, you're like, well, of course, because I've lived it for so long,
Right, right,
I
right.
don't know, it's
Yeah,
weird.
you have
So
futuristic, right?
I think it's at like 13, so it's
I
not, I
mean,
don't not
it's
have
in
it, but
top 15, but Beck always says that that means you are actually living it when you think about it,
mm,
and therefore it
yeah,
does feel like it's done by the time you get there.
yeah,
You've already experienced the excitement and the joy, so it does
yeah.
you don't get a second hit.
And then we were talking about scary goals and what goal are you afraid to set? And then like somebody had said to me, one of my good friends was like, "Well, what about your 7-figure goal?" And I was like, "Doesn't feel scary anymore because it feels possible." And that was like the first, and then I was like, "Oh fuck, like it does feel possible." So if it feels possible, then what is a big enough goal to scare me? Because that's
Right.
what competition thrives on, right? It's like, and of course, like I haven't made seven figures. So I still have to drive towards that. But like
Right.
that's not how psychology works, or at least
Right.
not how
Right.
mine works, right? I have to have a goal that feels impossible so that I can prove everyone wrong, like that's just how my brain
Hmm.
fuckery works. So yeah, lots of things. We talked about a lot of things. What scares you? What is a scary goal for you?
Oh gosh, everything? No, that's not true. What is a scary goal for me? I don't think it's usually financial. It's not, I don't have an easy time putting a number on it, although I would love to make six figures on just books. I think I got close with 80,000 a year or two ago, maybe 2 years ago. Um, but that would be nice. Uh, and that is a goal. That I think that maybe I'll just make that a goal for next year. I don't know if I could do it. I probably, you know what? Yeah, that is
No,
a
no,
scary
you
goal.
need to
Apparently,
decide.
I just,
Decide it. Yeah. I was gonna say, don't say I don't know if I can do it. Just decide and then make it happen.
well, apparently I'm scared of that. So yeah, you
Yeah,
found it.
good. Yeah, that's the right goal. Yeah, wicked.
All right.
Next.
So, perhaps I have a, no, maybe I do. Because if I, yeah, shit. I
I
hate
can
you
see the
sometimes.
fear. Like that is scary. Yeah.
And I don't, and I'm always careful not to set goals that I can't control. Like you can't, no one can set a goal, say, to be traditionally published because then you are trying to affect, you know, agents
But
and
yeah,
you
you could say that
can
about
set,
anything though, right?
yeah,
We can all, there are, anything, everything's out of our control except the actions that we take.
true.
So, like, and if you don't set the goal, you won't strive
You
towards
won't
it.
do
So
the
then you
things
won't do it anyway.
right. You're challenging me here.
Mm.
I
You
like
could
it.
always make the goal to beat whatever your highest score was in sales by $1.
That is a goal I can really get behind. I'm thinking about my Goodreads challenge this year, and we won't talk about your Goodreads, but mine was 86 books because I kept setting 100 and missing it, but the last time I got to 85. So I just changed my goal and I made it 86 and now I'm at like 90 or something like that.
Yeah.
But I that might be a more that's great. So here's my goal. Here's my goal. I hate it. It's going to be to make $100,000 selling books next year. I will have relatively new Unstuck, which I've done basically no promotion on. Thank you very much. Uh, no, I'll revise that. I have done no promotion. I've sent two emails in my life about that book, and that's not promotion. And then I'll have the fix, which will be coming out Kickstarter, and then my doing the backlist surge and selling to Shopify. So that's my goal. And no matter what I do in book sales next year, the year after that, I will try to beat it by $1.
Yes, I
That
love it.
feels
That
comfortable.
becomes the new baseline. Whatever
It,
next year is, it becomes the baseline.
it's turned into my swims. So I'm going to keep tracking my swims, and I apparently I grow well this way, is that I'm just going to try to swim outdoors in open water for every year that I'm alive. So when I'm 80, I'll be doing 80 swims. When I'm
I
85, I'll be doing
love
85
that.
swims because your body
Yes,
is
I
just
love it.
used to it. So that is the power of this weekly challenge. Ooh, ooh. I like that you just pushed me in that. That's
Yeah,
mean.
I
Now I
know.
have to talk now I have to talk to Ellie about this.
I do love it. Like I get high off of other people's like goals and stuff, or
Other
like
people's discomfort.
yeah,
Like I'm
complete
turning
sadist
red.
over here. No. It's fine. I'm as much of a masochist as I am a sadist, so it's all fair. The world is
And
balanced.
that's why your books are so hot. And that's
Oh
why
my
people
goodness
love to
me.
read you. So I've been trying to catch up on podcasts and I am getting closer to catching up on you, but how has everything else been treating you? How has TikTok been going? How have
Yes,
you
really well. Oh my God. It's so I won't lie, I am worried about the ban and what's going to happen. And it is going to have a significant impact.
Can
So
I
I don't know.
may I mention
Mm,
something though?
mm.
Here's the thing about if there's a ban on TikTok, and I know that I'm Pollyanna about a lot of things, but I saw Sky Warren saying the same kind of thing, which is that if TikTok is banned, there will be a new thing. And you would be primed then to be a first mover into the new space because you'll hear it. You'll go, well, that might be the next TikTok. I'll get in first. And that's where things really blow up.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
potential in that.
we have been working hard on Instagram. So Instagram, like I
Great.
started, I think in April I was on 5,000 followers. Now I'm
Mhm.
on t over
That's
20,000 followers.
amazing.
Yeah, so Instagram, but the conversion is less.
Yeah.
So
But
if
the
TikTok has
community is greater. The community is stronger. It is Instagram just because of the algorithm and how it.
So here's the difference though. With Instagram, the conversion is lower because it goes out to your existing audience,
Mhm.
right? So a lot of them have already brought from you. They won't have brought everything, but they have brought from you. So that is what I have told my social media manager. We have to look at converting people who've read one series but not the other. So like all
Yes.
our content needs to be about conversions
Hmm.
and about remarketing what we already have. So we've got like a remarketing list that we're gonna repeat post like because so many people like I answer the same questions every I answer the same questions every day, right? Oh, I did where do you get the Crimson Nights? Where do you get Crimson Spice? I didn't know there was a prequel. Like, are your books in Spanish? Are your books in the, it's the same questions over and over again. So we're going to do a lot of repeat marketing. Um, but because it goes to those people first, the people who are already following you, the sales and conversions are lower.
Hmm.
And even when it, like, so I've had something blow up on there this week. I think it's had like, I don't know, like 380,000 views or
On
something.
Instagram.
I've had a few
Dang.
of those. It's like slow viral. It's a very continuous slow viral. So I think over a 30-day period, we're at like or is it 90-day period? I don't remember. 30 days we're at just about 1 million views on Instagram. And then but when you look at TikTok, I also had something do like 80K and the spike result from that was very significantly higher. Now,
Right.
Instagram is very good at Shopify conversions. So that I find
Ah.
interesting. So we're focusing, pushing Shopify a lot more on Instagram, especially because you can tag the products.
Hmm.
Um, so that I think helps an awful lot. So it's
What do
just
you
for
mean you can
me.
tag the products so that,
So
oh,
if
because
you
then
have,
they just
because
hit the button and it goes to the Shopify. Is
yeah,
that right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, kind of. Yeah. So your Shopify connects to Meta and becomes like a Meta shop, and then it feeds into Instagram, and they'll click the products and it will take them to the sales page, and they can check out inside Instagram. Um, so yeah, it's about being a little bit more strategic with the type of content that you're putting on each social media and using that social media for the thing that it's best at. Um, So yeah, we're looking at lots of things like that. And yeah, we will just pivot, and I have been pushing my Shopify so hard to try and pull people in and out of social media and directly to me to kind of prevent if there is. I mean, I think the ban is probably going to happen.
You do?
Um,
You really do?
yeah, I
Ah, that's
do.
scary.
I do. Because they just lost the most recent one,
Oh,
didn't they?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I haven't been
I,
paying attention.
I also think you have to prepare for the worst.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And then if it doesn't happen, great. But yeah, TikTok's been going amazing. Everything has been going ridiculous. I don't even know how to quantify how ridiculous it is. Like, honestly,
Let
it's
me
astonishing.
point out to you too, just if you are doing everything right, you can't control anything that's happening out there. You are setting up this other, following on Instagram, and you are ready if TikTok goes down. You're ready to jump on the next four big things because one of them will hit.
Yeah. And the other thing is, TikTok won't be dead just because one country's not on there. If anything,
Exactly.
I'm
Right.
like, okay, so then we're going to get a lot more penetration in Europe
Yes. Yes.
and maybe Australia and New Zealand.
Yes.
So, that's not a bad thing.
See? Good, 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 good.
You just got to take you got to take the silver lining, right?
I did think of I basically this is probably all my fault because I did think of a fun way to market my knitlet on TikTok. So I'm known to kill things. That's what I know. If I jump on board, it's definitely too late and it's about to die. But do you want to hear my
Yeah,
idea?
I do. I
Um,
do.
So the Knitlet is it's like a 5 book series with a long novella and another little thing. But every book at the beginning of each chapter has a quote that this very famous knitter that I made up says. And so they're heartwarming and sweet and they're about knitting. But the books themselves are spicy. So I'm gonna like layer over the sweet little quote and then add some verbs of other things that are happening on the page, maybe while, knitting demurely.
I love that with you knitting in the background. Oh my God, I absolutely love that. You have to come back
So
to TikTok just for that.
I know that's the only thing I've thought of that would make me go back to TikTok because I think that would be fun. And there
That
are so
would
many
be
of them. There's
fun.
60 chapters in 5 books, and I don't know what that was, that 300 quotes right there. So that,
Blimey. That's
unless I've done it enough
300
times.
pieces of content.
I know that could then just be, yeah. So
Rinse and
yeah,
repeat. You can, because
exactly.
you can reuse the hooks or reuse the like
Hmm.
loads of it.
Hmm.
Oh, I love it. So are you fully planned for next year?
No, I'm mostly planned. What about you? Can you talk us through your months? Nah, you're not quite
I'm
there
not
yet
I'm
either.
not planned at all. Like I was
At
supposed to
all? I don't
finish,
believe
no,
that.
literally at all. Literally not planned at all. No plan. None. And that was what one of the things I was supposed to talk about in the session yesterday. And like I've never been so unplanned in my life. I think I'm holding a lot of like the direction in my brain. Um, because I know what we're doing and I know where we're going. But yeah, also I feel like maybe I'm not the planner anymore in my business. Like
Mm.
Petra is the planner, like she has schedules and production plans, and I don't think I'm very good at planning. So I'm just letting her do that, and then she can tell me when I'm supposed to deliver stuff. Um,
I think
and
that's a
that
great
feels,
idea because
yeah,
most of us, I'm not just speaking to you, but most of us are reliably wrong when we are
yeah,
doing our own plans. And to have an outside person tell you when it will actually fit in your life could be a superpower.
yeah, it really is because I'm also gonna pay for her to do coaching.
Oh,
So
great.
that,
Good
yeah,
idea.
but with Ellie, so that she
Yeah.
can kind of
Yeah.
see, and then they can collude, and then I they'll have realistic dates, and I will think that I've got to deliver by X date, and really I've got to deliver it, wherever. No, but yeah, I haven't really planned. All I know is that the next thing that I'm doing is architecty, and then I really want to write a novella, which is a crossover between the two series, which is the wedding novella that I get asked for on a daily basis. But I'm like so mood driven that if I can't hook in, I'm not going to be able to do it. So I haven't promised it to anybody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
What
I'd
does
like to do that.
architecty mean? Go back to that. What is architecty?
Architecty is a duet. Oh, well, it's the Latin word for architect.
Yeah.
Um, and it's a duet and it's like a gothic
Ah.
romantasy duet. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. So that and the main character is called Midnight and you see her appear at the end of Curses because that's what I do. I like kind of bring the main character in at the end of the series. So yeah. Oh yeah, because I launched a book since we spoke.
You did, that's right. I
I
forgot.
forgot.
How did it go?
Amazing.
Was this
Literally
which one was
amazing.
this? This was
Curses, Crimson Curses,
Curses.
the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
vampire one.
Yeah.
Yeah, last vampire
I
one.
feel like
Best
you
launch I've ever
just
had.
told me a secret that you were going to write some vampires. Don't tell anybody, Rachel. And
I
now
know.
Okay, well, tell us about the launch.
Literally, it was I had over 1,300 pre-orders. I think it was
That's amazing.
1,350 something pre-orders on Amazon. That's not including the hundreds of pre-orders on my website or anywhere else. Um, I mean, it this month has I've earned my entire corporate salary this month. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. It's been insane.
Is this
Um,
your highest month?
ah, by a long mile. Yeah. I
Wow.
had beaten my highest Amazon month on the 12th of this month. Yeah,
That's
I'm
great.
nervous laughing too because I don't even know what to say about that. Like I'm just like this is fucking wild. I'll tell you numbers afterwards because I don't want to give numbers, proper numbers out. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Will you
it's
do, and I'm putting you on the spot here, so yeah, again, tell me to fuck
no,
off, but
no,
will you share ever what
no,
you did this year?
no, no,
No, you're not going to
no,
do a Rachel.
no,
Okay,
no.
you know what? That's a healthy attitude. You don't need to.
I said I would do it when I hit
That's what I'm
six
remembering.
figures.
Yes.
Yeah,
And you
and I
did.
did it.
Yeah.
And I did. I will do more of a Joe and give
Yes. Yeah.
like roundabout and
Right.
percentages, I
Yeah.
think is probably
Yeah.
what I'll do. Um,
And you owe you
yeah.
let me remind you, you owe nobody anything for that. It's
I,
just that
I,
it does inspire people.
okay, so
Okay.
here's why.
Yeah.
I have had people reach out to me who have known me in my legal name and have found me through my pen names,
Mm-hmm.
trying to contact people in my life.
Oh
And that's
no.
happened twice this year.
Oh
And I'm
no.
like, okay, clearly this is now public information. I am now
Yeah.
public enough that people can find me
Yeah.
and my family. Therefore, would I tell writers if they asked me directly in person at a conference? Yes.
Of course. Yeah.
Am I going to put it on the podcast that goes out? No.
I think that's so smart. You
That's the
have a
difference.
real, true vested interest in keeping those worlds very, very separate.
Yes.
Yeah, good. That's
Yeah.
safe. That's actually just a matter of safety.
Yeah. Yeah. And it happened literally in the last 2 weeks. And I was like,
Oh, I'm
oh,
sorry.
and no, no.
Ick.
And the thing is, the person that contacted is lovely and was very, very happy memories in my childhood. And I was very happy to connect them with the person in my life.
Right.
So it wasn't a problem. It was the realization that things are a little bit more public than I realized.
Hmm.
And I don't know how they made that connection because I've got no social media in my legal name. I've got nothing. I
You
don't
are
know. So I don't,
recognizable. You are recognizable.
not, not, not from this person knew me when I was 6.
I bet you look and sound the same.
I don't know. I don't know. Um, I don't know. Anyway, it was a wake up call about how much information I want public.
Hmm.
Um, so no. But if people ask me, I will be happy to share that, but in person.
That's a reason
Yeah.
to go to a conference where you are at. And, you know, and I meant to ask Joe this when I was chatting, and then I forgot. And maybe I'll send her an email or if she'll listen. But I wanted to ask you and Joe, do you think it would be worthwhile for me to go to Vegas this next
Yes.
year? Whoa, I didn't even finish the sentence
I had
because I
already
want
said
to
yes in my
focus
head.
more on no
I I
on book
knew what you
sales.
yeah, I knew what you were going to say.
Yeah,
I've already bought my ticket.
yeah.
However, I'm only going if RAM doesn't happen.
Oh, might Ram be at the same time? No,
No, but I
or it
only
just
want
might not
one
happen.
US trip.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. So if RAM happens and I get an invite, because you have to apply to get an invite, if that happens, I'm going to RAM. If it doesn't happen, I'll go back to Vegas.
Ram has been digital before.
Yes, it was digital this year. I'm not interested in digital. That's not
Okay,
how
because I went once to the digital and it blew my mind. But
I get all the benefit from the people.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's
yeah,
the people. You know,
yeah,
I
yeah,
went to
yeah, yeah.
Vegas and I like went
You
to
did the
Joe's
interviews.
session.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm not going to Vegas for the conference sessions. I'm going to Vegas. And actually, if I go, I'm not even going to speak
Yeah. Okay. Well,
next
then
year.
I'll put a line item in my budget
Yeah.
because I feel
Yeah.
like it's been a
I
while
have to
since I've had
say,
that kind of inspiration.
I, I think if you go with a plan, so
Hmm.
like I went with my plan to interview seven-figure
Yep.
people. I think if you go with a plan and you pre-book things, you will have a brilliant time because it was by far and away the best conference I've been to. And I went to one session, which was Joe's. I- And that's no disrespect to,
Of
that's not
course.
true. I went to a part of Inez's session as well, which was also brilliant. But
Oh, she's
it's
always
no
brilliant.
disrespect to Author Nation. It's
Yeah.
literally because I went with a mission and I paid my ticket to go
Yep.
and I, did my dues, I spoke and all the rest of it. Um, had some hilarious feedback. on my session, which maybe I'll tell you about after. Um, I pegged it though, because Petra was like, "Do you want to hear this feedback?" And I was like, "Does it say this and this?" And she laughed. I knew it would. And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Hilarious." Anyway, at least I know myself. Also, I gave warnings about both of those things, but whatever. Anyway, yes, I really do think that you should go if you're going with a purpose and a mission.
I will have to
Don't
think of
go.
what that is.
Yeah, like don't go just to fanny about. Go
Right,
because you're going to gather something from
right.
there.
Yeah, I love the idea of, yeah. Okay. I love it, all of it. Okay. This is long enough. Anything you want to stick in there before we outro?
What? Tell me one thing you do on Christmas Day.
Nothing. As little as
Oh,
possible. Lala is not a Christmas fan because her first wife died right around like the day before Christmas or something like that. So it's
oh,
got bad memories. But this year I will tell you that the fathers are both coming into town, her dad and his partner, and my dad and his partner. And uh it's going to be a challenge. So on Christmas Day this year, the thing I'm really looking forward to is that I booked a fancy restaurant for dinner and
oh, so
nobody will
clever.
be cooking and
Yeah, so
nobody will be
clever.
stressed out. Um, but another lovely thing that we always do on Christmas is that Lala and I exchange gifts, and we're not really big gift people, but we make sure that we get something nice and small for each other. And I will, so we'll be doing that. That'll be nice.
I
What
love
about
that.
you? What's a Christmas tradition for you?
I don't know that we have any traditions. My mum and her partner often go off to church in the morning. And so this year I have said we are staying here because I don't want to make Atlas wait until lunchtime to open his presents because we're waiting for
Yeah.
everybody to come back from church. So yeah, I sort of put my foot down about that this year. So
Good.
yeah, I'm excited for him for that this year.
Oh, I think kids should
Yeah.
open presents as early as possible on the day.
Yeah, me
Like it's
too.
just so exciting.
Yeah, me too.
Uh,
I agree.
all right,
Yes.
my friend. I
All
will look
right.
forward to talking to you next month. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.